What if the world was mapped before it was discovered? Ancient hands traced coastlines hidden under miles of ice, rivers buried for thousands of years, and continents modern science claims were unknown. How did they know? Were these maps the result of lost civilizations, forgotten technologies, or memories passed down from a world erased? History says humanity learned the world's shape through exploration. Yet, in museums, maps defy this narrative. Maps that know too much, whispering of a past older than textbooks. Before satellites, cartographers drew coastlines, sketching lands buried beneath ice, marking territories unknown to history. Side by side, these maps reveal a pattern. Someone possessed global knowledge that modern civilization denies. The unsettling example. Piri Reis, 1513. He compiled a world map based on much older sources, hidden for centuries before resurfacing in Topkapi Palace. Scholars noticed something impossible. The southern coastline matched Antarctica, not covered in ice. This state predates human civilization as we know it. How could a 16th century map portray this? Defenders argue coincidence or misinterpretation. Yet this accuracy appears again and again across different maps. The Piri Reis Map is not an anomaly, but part of a larger puzzle spanning the globe, reaching back into ancient China. Piri Reis claimed to have copied information from maps dating back to Alexander the Great and even earlier, hinting at a lost cartographic tradition that had already mapped the world long before the modern age. Humanity's understanding of the planet did not evolve in a straight line, but followed a complex path, one marked by rises, collapses, and forgotten epics of knowledge. This idea gains weight with the Oronce Fine Map of 1531. Created by a French mathematician, it depicted a massive southern continent, Terra Australis, with detailed river systems, mountain ranges, and coastal outlines that align closely with modern reconstructions of Antarctica beneath the ice. Skeptics insist this was mere speculation. But speculation does not explain precision, nor does it explain why rivers appear where radar has confirmed ancient waterways beneath the ice. Features only known if Antarctica was once ice-free or surveyed by technologies we don't associate with ancient societies. Many maps appear to be based on a spherical understanding of Earth, utilizing advanced projections. Renaissance cartographers struggled to master these. This suggests original sources were sophisticated documents, created by people who understood geometry, latitude, longitude, and the curvature of the planet, concepts that supposedly emerged much later. This forces us to confront a possibility that challenges everything. What if advanced knowledge existed long before recorded civilization and was later lost to catastrophe, leaving behind only fragments that survived in the hands of later mapmakers who did not fully understand what they caught? If that is the case, then these maps are not inventions, but echoes, faint memories of a world that vanished. This idea becomes even more compelling when we examine ancient Chinese maps with surprising familiarity. Maps created centuries before sustained contact with Europe, showing accurate representations of Africa, the Middle East, and even hints of the Americas. Mainstream historians explain this away through trade routes and shared knowledge. Yet the timelines do not always align, and the accuracy sometimes exceeds what would be expected from second-hand information, suggesting again that these cartographers were inheriting something far older, something already refined. This inherited knowledge might also explain why certain maps were treated as secrets, guarded by empires, hidden in archives or deliberately destroyed, because knowledge of the true shape of the world confers power, and power is rarely shared freely. When European empires began their age of exploration, they relied on maps far more accurate than their ships or instruments should have allowed, raising the question of rediscovery. Were they rediscovering the world or simply reclaiming forgotten charts from earlier civilizations? This brings us to the haunting notion that history may not be a story of constant progress, but one of cycles, where civilizations rise to remarkable heights, collapse under natural or cosmic disasters, leaving behind traces that later societies misinterpret as myths or anomalies. If such a civilization existed, it needed a global perspective, a reason to map the world in its entirety, and perhaps the ability to travel or observe from vantage points we no longer possess. Some researchers point to the end of the last ice age as a likely candidate for such a lost epoch, a time when massive climate shifts reshaped the planet, sea levels rose dramatically, and entire coastlines vanished. erasing evidence of advanced cultures that may have thrived along now submerged shores. This aligns disturbingly well with the fact that many ancient maps show coastlines as they would have appeared thousands of years ago, before sea levels stabilized. It also explains why so much early human history seems to begin abruptly, around 12,000 years ago, as if civilization suddenly appeared fully formed without a clear developmental trail. Archaeology struggles to explain the origin of the advanced knowledge embedded in these maps, knowledge that seems to come from a time when humans were supposedly incapable of such feats. Perhaps the most unsettling aspect is not that ancient people knew the world better than we thought, but that modern society has become uncomfortable with the implications of that knowledge. Because accepting it would mean acknowledging that we are not the first advanced civilization on this planet, that we are inheritors rather than pioneers, and that the line between myth and history is far thinner. This discomfort may explain why these maps are often dismissed, marginalized, or explained away, rather than confronted directly. Because once you accept that ancient maps depict impossible knowledge, you are forced to ask who created the original sources and what happened to them. This question opens the door to a past filled with lost technologies, forgotten sciences, and civilizations erased. Not by ignorance, but by catastrophe. As we stand today with satellites orbiting above us, mapping every inch of the Earth in real time, it is worth asking whether we are truly discovering anything new, or simply confirming what someone long ago already knew. Perhaps the most haunting realization of all is that if ancient maps are memories rather than inventions, then our own civilization may one day become another forgotten layer, its knowledge scattered, misinterpreted, and rediscovered by future societies who will wonder how we knew so much, and yet lost it all. Because history does not always move forward, sometimes it circles back, leaving clues in ink and parchment, waiting for those willing to ask the uncomfortable questions, not about where we are going, but about where we have already been.